All right. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome. So today is Thursday. Today's the last day of trading today, guys. So remember, I'm gonna put a pin in the chat. Market closed tomorrow. Make sure everyone knows that. I'm sure some people will wake up. I'm very excited, actually. Nice to have a little day off. Nice to not have to wake up and relax a little bit. Maybe if you guys want to stay tuned, if you want to know if I'm going to do something tomorrow, I would just follow my Instagram, guys. Always the best way to stay up to date with the streams and if I'm going to be here, if I'm not going to be here. I would follow my Instagram. It's down on the bottom left of your screen. You can see it, options_insider. That's the best way to stay updated. I'm always on there. So go ahead and give that a follow if you want. I'm not that active on Twitter. I probably should be. I just don't love Twitter. talking of Twitter, you guys saw Elon offer to buy Twitter this morning for $54 a share. That's why I got its big pop higher this morning. You know, my first thought when I saw that this morning was buy puts, just in case they reject the offer. That was my first thought. That was like right when I woke up, I saw it and I said, what if I bought puts just in case they reject the offer? But it looks like it's already given back a lot of the moves, so I'm just gonna stay away. I haven't been involved in this Twitter move at all. I don't like trading Twitter, and I'm not gonna change it just because of what's going on here. So enough of an offer. Yeah, who knows, man? They're probably gonna reject it. I'm sure they're gonna go back and forth and stuff like that. So I'm sure. Yeah. So that's some news this morning. Also this morning, guys, we have more earnings from banks. We also have some really good strength from leisure stocks. Leisure, it's a hard word to say sometimes. So stocks like hotels, like Airbnb, Marriott, Las Vegas Sands, the casino stocks, the airline stocks, all looking strong. Why? Because of Delta's earnings yesterday. All because of Delta's earnings. So Delta sort of showed us, the strength that they're seeing on their bookings in Q2. And they said it was actually the strongest Q2 reservations in the company's history, which is just crazy. So that's a little bit of an insight into, do we need to be watching leisure stocks here? We're going to talk about it today. I think it's a good thing to focus on. Got some interesting technicals on the tech side, and just a lot to look at today. So I'm actually very excited for today. I think there's going to be a lot of good opportunities, a lot of charts setting up. Let's see what happens. So let's just jump right into it. Futures, as always, economic earnings calendar. So here's the earnings calendar, guys. Earnings calendar today. We had TSM. We had Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, United Health Group, Rite Aid, PNC, Ally Bank, Ericsson. So pretty important, just sort of a good read on the economy, really, on the bank side. And then yesterday for Delta on the leisure side. So very interesting set of earnings. Not something I would play. I did actually have a small UNH call because of the expected move. It was so small. Not much of a move, so I'm probably going to lose about $100 on that. But I did it because the expected move was only about 2.3%. So I said, okay, that's a pretty small expected move. I'll take my $100 shot with some house money. But doesn't look like that's going to... maybe intraday today it has a good run. But yeah, so let me go back to that earnings calendar. So earnings calendar, you guys can see some nice stuff there. We'll look at all of it today. On the economic side, we have jobless claims and retail sales. The retail sales I'm very interested in today. Retail sales... You guys have seen, I don't know if you watch the market a lot, you definitely, if you guys are at a point in your trading where you're starting to be able to realize rotation, I think that's like a really crucial point in your trading or in even just your market analysis. There's difference between trading and being able to analyze the market. If you're at that point where you can start to notice that rotation and notice what's strong without really even reading anything, like looking at news, just sort of looking at the charts and being able to notice things, that's good. That's a really good step if you're there. It's clear that the retail side of things, the XLP side of things, has been insanely strong. And today, retail sales could be a very interesting catalyst. So Target was pretty strong yesterday. Walmart was an absolute monster. And we've talked about Walmart. Congratulations, first of all, to anyone that's in this chat that played Walmart. Because we talked about Walmart on the all-time high break and retest for the last 2 days. And this was a gorgeous move yesterday. So congrats on that. But retail sales could be interesting. You had Walmart, Costco, Target. Very strong. Home Depot was strong yesterday. FedEx, not so much on the retail, but FedEx was strong yesterday as well. So A lot of those retailers showing some strength. Let's see what retail sales show today at 8:30. That's going to be interesting. After that, you just got some Fed presidents talking. I'm not sure that has much of an effect. So that's the economic side. Interesting stuff. And then finally, we're going to look at some individual names. As you guys know, I talked about this yesterday. Is the Nasdaq in an inverse head and shoulder? If it is, I think right now is an opportunity to put some risk on the table. So Nvidia, I think, is a fantastic look, a fantastic setup if you think that Nasdaq pushes higher off this inverse head and shoulder. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to. I don't know if it is, but sometimes you have to take some calculated risk in trading and not chase a move. So are you finding something, a setup that may start to occur? Are you going to try to see if it starts to occur? Are you willing to put some risk on the table on a very high risk to reward play? Nvidia is an opportunity that I'm very interested in and watching very closely. So Nvidia, Google, another one, and I know a lot of you guys in the chat are in Google, off 2550. That's another very good chart in my opinion. So those two tech stocks look really good in my opinion. Watching those. Tesla, monster day yesterday for Tesla off the 100 SMA. Leisure finding strength. We'll look at a few leisure stocks. Airbnb, 176 level. Monster level for Airbnb. You guys saw Airbnb had a huge day yesterday. Bank earnings. We'll take a look at some banks. Perfect Walmart retest. I want to screenshot this and put it in a textbook. The same as Costco. It's the same exact move. Walmart and Costco made the exact same chart patterns, and all you had to do was either come to the live stream for me to show you, or just pay attention to where retests are. If you want to do it yourself, if you want to try to find them yourself, go to the daily chart, look for those retests. These two setups were gorgeous. Finally, Lululemon, probably my favorite clothing brand, is breaking out of a very nice resistance level. So some big stuff. There's a lot of honorable mentions I have today as well. I have FedEx, Target, Home Depot, Costco that I want to show you as well. So there's a lot of stuff setting up. Which is sort of changed from yesterday. Honestly, yesterday sort of set up quite a few names on the leisure side of things, on the Dow side of things that I really like. So before we get any further, I want to make sure 50% off merchandise, guys. There's Q2s coming, so there's going to be some new designs coming out. I'm pretty excited to show you guys. I like them a lot. And there's going to be, I'm going to do like maybe some hats, maybe something like a coffee mug for like your setup, your desk setup. Something, not just all shirts. So if you guys want to catch some of the last previous design, make sure to use that code. The code is earnings on the website. You can get some Options Insider merch. Yeah, CrowdStrike's been a beast, PA. CrowdStrike's that stock. I'm sure you guys have those stocks as well that are just, it's always so strong and you just never play it. CrowdStrike is that stock for me. I never play it, but it's always so strong, and I don't know why I don't play it. All right, daily chart on Nasdaq. So here's my one and only like big watch on the Nasdaq. It's right here. It's this inverse head and shoulder. Is this setting up? Is this what's about to happen? And if it is, can I get a beautiful trade off of it? That is really what my main watch is here, guys. You guys can see right here, you have a left shoulder, you have a head, and you have a right shoulder. Does this move back to the upside? Is this an inverse head and shoulder? This is something I'm very focused on. This is an opportunity. You know, there's always like those opportunities within the year. Probably not many of them. You know, there's a few of them within the year, maybe 4 or 5 times where you can really find a really nice setup on the overall market and try to catch it. This, in my opinion, is one of those potential times. Could be wrong, could be right, but you know, part of our job here is to spot opportunity, be opportunistic, right? That's as a trader, you want to be opportunistic. So I'm watching this inverse head and shoulder. Does it bounce? Do we get a push? There's a lot of things working against tech, but there's also the side of, okay, we just gave back majority of any type of push we had higher. We've been sort of consolidating. Is there anything worse coming out? Yes, we have inflation. We have the war in Ukraine still going on. But can the market just sort of consolidate here in this range? And can we get a little bit of a sympathy push after this downside move? I think it's possible. I know tech is very weak. That's why I'm being very cautious here. Tech is still very, very weak. The yields are not helping. The bonds market's not helping. A lot of stuff working against it. But can we get any type of sympathy push off this inverse head and shoulder? That's what I'm watching. And really, the main thing to see if this works out is right here, guys. This is what I'm watching here. I think we need to get over this little rejection point right here. This rejection point, it's probably the previous lows, right around 14,315, 14,300. It's all in this range right here, guys. This is what the Nasdaq needs to break for me to feel more confident on this move. You can see it right here. It is clear as day, right? Look at this. If the Nasdaq gets over this, right, and maybe does one of these, right, does one of those, then I am definitely interested heavily. So you can see if we can get this 14,300 and we can get a little retest, or even if we don't, if we just break the 14,300 and we start to move our way back higher, next level would be here. And then we can start to stair step, right? Can we start to stair step higher? That's exactly what I am looking for. So today, 14,300 would be the key level. That would be where I really need to see this Nasdaq get over. Because if not, right? If this does not break this previous low that turned into resistance, right? Support, resistance, resistance, and resistance. It's clear as day, guys. When a market breaks over these, one of those, if the market breaks over a structure point like that, there is going to be upside. It's just how it works. So watching this 14.3, I think that is going to be a major level today, guys. So watch out for that. I'm not sure we'll get there. I'm not sure, do we get 100 points today? Maybe on a Thursday before markets closed. I'm not sure. Might not be this week. Maybe it's next week. But if you do see a push to the upside and you do get a rejection, that could also be your downside catalyst. So there's definitely some opportunity today. Either you get the rejection of 14.3, you play it to the downside, or you see a breakthrough and you see the market continue. So either way, this 14.3 level is going to be big for you. No matter which way you want to play it today, that 14.3 level should be on your charts. That is a monster supply zone and a monster level that you need to know about. So watching that right there on the Nasdaq. ES, that's really all that's important. I mean, there's nothing else important than that level. The ES is very similar on the daily chart. You guys can see it right here. The ES is holding a previous resistance, which is actually quite nice. Let me zoom out a little bit, make this a little bit cleaner. Let's see, what's the best? There's always a best scale to look at it. This looks pretty good. So here's a resistance. What is it doing right here, guys? Here's a resistance, and what is it doing right here? Perfect. Break. Retest. So can we get a push to the upside, right? That is what I'd be looking for on the ES. Now, what do we need to happen for that to start to set up? It's quite easy, guys, right? It's quite easy. Just look at the charts right here. Previous support turning into resistance. If this does not break through, then this is not going anywhere, right? This is the major level. That is 44.55. Let's just call it 44.50. All in this area, 44.60. This entire area is clear as day resistance, right? It's not hard to read this chart. Previous support into resistance, into resistance. So today on the ES, you're watching 44.60. You need a break. You need a retest. You need a push higher. If you're bullish, if you're bearish, then you're looking for this, guys. You're looking for a push into 44.60, maybe a little double top, and then you're looking for the slip, right? That's exactly what you're looking for. I would not short the market until you get to that rejection, and I would not long the market until you get over this level. It goes both ways, right? This is I always talk back to Carmine because I like what he does on YouTube, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watch him as well. He does not take trades in this zone, which I think he's very smart to do. He only takes sells if he starts to see rejection in a supply zone. That is very smart, and that's how it should be done. So I like that a lot. I would only play shorts if you see a rejection here, and I would only play longs if you see a break and retest to the upside, right? So playing within the zone, which I always talk about, playing within a channel is very, very dangerous. There is no, there's no consistency to this channel, the middle of this channel. This is all just I don't want to say I don't want to say a bad word. It's a chop fest. I'll say that. It's all just a chop fest in here. Don't get stuck trading in here. Wait for this or wait for this. That's what I would be looking for. All right. Do you buy any of the Abby dip? I will be buying it when my M1 account does a buy, which is on Monday. So yeah, I mean, I'll be buying it for sure. So that's the ES. That's what I would be watching. The Dow. I would focus on the Dow, guys, to see if it starts to get more strength. I think the Dow could heat up. I really do. I think this is an environment where the Dow could heat up. Leisure is looking pretty strong. Some good names, some good information from Delta to support leisure. And you guys can see, if we go to the 4 hour, this level is sick. This level is sick. I like this a lot. So I'm going to definitely watch the Dow here. You got a little bit of a flag that's starting to occur. If the Dow starts to break out of this, guys, I think you get a really nice leisure upside move. You get a Dow move, you get leisure move. This could very well occur here, especially in this market where leisure could be favored, and that would help the Dow Jones. So this is definitely a watch for me as well. I'm definitely going to watch some Dow stocks, more than I usually do, because I think this is setting up pretty nicely. And more than anything, I like the sector rotation possibility. I like the possibility of leisure getting a little bit of a spike off of us heading into summer, us heading into as more leisure companies talk about their positive bookings for Q2. I think that's a good thing for the leisure sector, and I think that helps the Dow Jones. So definitely a watch here for me. A little bit of a flag on the Dow, which we'll go over in a second, Andre. Just stay tuned. Support. Rejections. Can we get the breakout? Right? That's what I'd be looking for. Russell, probably nothing even worth looking at. Yeah, probably YouTube again. Probably YouTube not showing my stream again. I don't know. It is what it is. So Russell, not even worth mentioning. Just chilling inside of a range. Whatever. Not worth my time there. All right. Let's get started. Nvidia. Real quick to recap. I like to recap real quick for you guys. Here's a few notes for today. Last day of the trading week, probably low volume. Be careful. Retail sales are out in 10 minutes. We'll see what happens there. Leisure is heating up. Nasdaq is still sort of weak. You have some key levels to watch out for, right? Nasdaq and ES have very clear levels to play off of. So make sure you're aware of those. Okay. So if the Nasdaq pushes to the upside off that inverse head and shoulder and breaks out of those key levels, this right here is awesome. I mean, you're not going to get a better risk to reward on Nvidia. Probably maybe another time for the rest of the year. You don't. If you're scared to be wrong, then this is not a trade for you. If you're scared to be wrong and you're not willing to take a loss, this is not a trade for you, right? If you feel like you have to be right every single time, or you're a bad trader, then this is not a trade for you. But if you're looking for risk reward, if you're looking for calculated risk, I think this is very, very interesting. You can clearly see the level that we're sitting at 215. It's a previous, you sort of tested a few times back here, but in the short term, look at how many times this level has been tested. It's a little bit of a sloppy level, I will say. It could probably go down to 210 and still be valid. But I'm thinking you start to see some of this hold if the Nasdaq starts to hold as well. If the Nasdaq starts to bounce off that inverse head and shoulder, I think you see a pretty nice move on Nvidia. I would say look for 240s, 240, 245s right in this area, and then up in the 270s. That's sort of what I'd be looking for as my price targets. This little pivot high here, 243s, and then this pivot high here around 270s. So I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm definitely going to be watching this today, guys. This is nice stuff. So, yeah. I mean, you just can't you can't be scared to lose here. You can't be scared to lose. That's all I can say to you. Right? Because if you're scared to lose, then you're just going to miss out on awesome opportunities. Because this risk to reward is just fantastic. It really is just a dumb risk to reward. Your risk is down to these lows, right? And your reward is potentially, it could potentially be up to 270, right? That's a potential risk to reward there if the market actually heats up. What is that, like a 10 to 1? So I just don't see the reason why you wouldn't put some risk here. The only reason you wouldn't is that you can't afford to lose and you are scared to lose. So really nice stuff. It goes against a little bit of the current Nasdaq. It sort of goes against. This is the one thing that I am a little bit concerned about. It goes against the Nasdaq trend, which is clear, right? We all know tech's pretty weak, so that's the only concern, guys. The Nasdaq trend is really not there helping you, but I would still watch it. Google, very similar, pretty much the exact same thing, right? Pretty much the exact same thing on Google. You can clearly see it here. If we go to the 4-hour chart, every time Google has spiked down into this area, it has found support. Now, again, this is a choppy level, right? It's not perfect. This is what I don't really love about this, because it could go down to 25.30. It could go down to 24.65. It could go down to 2,500, right? It's a little bit choppy in here, which is a little bit concerning, makes it a little bit more difficult than I would like. But, I would still sort of watch. I would watch this area. I would watch to see if you start to see any type of support, consolidation, any type of upside on the Nasdaq. I think that helps Google as well. So another one that looks really good on the 4-hour, on the daily. I think you can't go wrong. Obviously you'd be buying shares here. I think you'd be dumb not to be buying shares. This is a great opportunity. Google is down 11% in like a week. So nice little share buying opportunity here off a strong support. I don't think you'll be upset about that in the future. So another interesting opportunity there that I am definitely watching. Tesla. So Tesla never quite got back to my retest level, which I would have loved to see. I would have been a big buyer off that level. Right off here, this 945. It sort of retested this previous support from back in November. Right in this area, this 980 area. You guys can see this. You have previous support here. You have support right here. You have resistance right here. And then you can see we went ahead and bounced off that again here. So support, resistance, and support. This is just a highly respected level, right? That's all that means. This 980 area is a pretty highly respected level. So you got your bounce. You also have the 100 SMA below. You guys can see right here, the green line, that's 100 SMA. So a nice little bounce. I would have liked to see this to be honest, guys, right back to here. I think that would have been stronger if we would have got back to here. I think more buyers would have stepped in, absolutely. So I'm a little bit cautious on this. I'm always cautious on Tesla. This morning, you guys can see we're getting some downside. And I'd like to say something about this downside. I think this is the dumbest downside I have seen this year. Why? It's because it's falling because of Elon buying Twitter. That has zero effect on Tesla. It doesn't even, it has not even close to any effect on Twitter. Sometimes there's some kind of a gray area. This has no effect on Tesla. Elon has plenty of money to buy Twitter. Elon is not going to stop being the CEO of Tesla. Elon is still going to, there's no change here. So it's interesting. I mean, it's almost like an opportunity. It's like an arbitrage opportunity, in my opinion. Tesla falling because Elon wants to buy Twitter. That's just classic market reaction. And that's opportunity usually. Market emotion, market reaction off emotional things like that is always opportunity. So that doesn't mean I'm saying go buy Tesla today because it's going to go up. I'm just saying that's really dumb to see Tesla falling off that. That's not true, Pradeep. I mean, that's just not true. That's just something that people are going to make up in their head and think that that's what's going to happen. He's not going to forget about Tesla. There's absolutely no way. There's just absolutely no way. He knows that Tesla is the important thing. Twitter is just his play around. He's just doing it because he has so much damn money that he can do whatever he wants. No, he's not going to sell stock on Tesla. He's probably just gonna buy it cash. He has more money than he even needs to buy that thing. So yeah, I mean, I just think this is dumb. But who knows? Just emotion. It's usually what happens. Leisure. Is there a leisure ETF? I'm not a big leisure guy, so. Is there a leisure ETF? Yeah, there is. Invesco. PEJ. Side piece. Yeah, here's PEJ. So you can see, I mean, it hasn't been doing great, but you saw this. Look at this day on the leisure ETF. You guys see this push right here? Yesterday? Interesting. So let's see. What can we look at? Let's look at the hotels first. Let's take a quick look at the hotels. Guys, I'm sure Elon has the cash to buy Twitter. I mean, one way or another. And if he said he has it, then I'm sure he does. So here's Marriott, right? Marriott, MAR, hotel. Nice little, look at this uptrend it's been on. He'll probably pay with a credit card, yeah. Nice little uptrend on Marriott on the daily chart. That's actually very interesting. Look at this. I barely look at Marriott, but look at that upside move on this candle. Huge candle yesterday. How big was this day? Jeez, man. Look at that day on Marriott. I didn't even realize that. So big push there on Marriott. We can look at a stock like LVS, which is Las Vegas Sands. You got a little push on the casinos, sort of sitting at support down there. What else? Yeah, we can look at Jets, JETS, Jets. That is just the airline ETF. So a nice day for airlines. You're gonna see all these heat up, I think. Delta, big push on Delta. You had a nice little gap up and continuation. Yeah, you can look at CCL. CCL had a nice day yesterday. RCL probably had a nice day yesterday as well. So these charts traditionally have been a mess, but you're starting to maybe see some heat up. That's what I would watch. Just sort of keep an eye on this sector. See if there's a heat up on this sector. Maybe even CAR goes for it again. Maybe even this is the time CAR gets crazy again. I literally cannot believe this move on CAR. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was some crazy shit. So I would watch the leisure side of things. Keep an eye on Jets. Keep an eye on Marriott. Keep an eye on like Airbnb, which we're about to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at Airbnb. Airbnb should definitely benefit from an increased travel demand, like Delta is saying, right? I absolutely should. What's takeaway? I saw you guys just eat takeaway. What is that? TKWY. It's not a ticker. You got me. TKWY is not a ticker. Oh, it's J. Okay, we're just going to continue here. So, Airbnb. Big level here around this 176, right? If Airbnb can get over this, I think you might get a nice little move. So, watch out here, guys. 176 has been a monster level right here around this little supply area. Resistance, 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 resistance. Let's see, do we get the break? Do we get the retest maybe? And then do we get continuation? That would be something very, very nice, right? It should look something like this, but with the retest. So like, for example here, guys, this never held the retest. So very, very key there, right? No hold of the retest right here. All right, we got retail sales. What do we get in here? Let's take a quick break and look at the numbers, guys. So, take a quick break, look at the numbers. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in on the chart. I'm not looking at VERU, guys. Sorry, I'm not. I don't trade that stuff. This is not the right place for that. Okay. Retail sales. A little bit lower than consensus. 0.1 below. Retail sales X autos 1.1. X autos X gas 0.2. So I'm not sure. I'd have to see exactly how that stacks up. Gold Rush Ray. It's not going to help, man. I see it. Trust me. It's just annoying, really. Jobless claims plus 18,000 to 185. So a little bit higher on the jobless claims. That's interesting. So more jobless claims. Interesting. March import price is 2.6 versus 2.2. That just sort of goes along with inflation numbers. Non-petroleum import prices plus 1.1. U.S. petroleum import price is 16.1%. So really nothing great. Nothing great, nothing standout. It seems everything seems to sort of be in line. Really, that sort of seems to be what happened. Yeah, I mean, if this retail sales number was better, I think you would have seen more of a reaction. So, yeah, just sort of in line on the retail sales number. I probably would say there's not much of a reaction there. So we'll see. Inflation will remain high over the coming months. Lagarde. So, yeah, I think this is sort of, if you got a nice beat here, maybe you would have saw a push, but that is not the case. You sort of just got flat. Everything seems flat. I mean, a little bump on jobless, basically flat on retail sales. Market's not really reacting to anything. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy says Musk's offer for Twitter is interesting. All right. So not much there on the news this morning, at least not just yet. I mean, I would still watch retail at intraday, but right now I would say this is not much of a reaction at all. Really nothing here. So no bad news is good. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Airbnb. So I would be watching 176. 177 right in this area, guys, and I would be looking for a push through this resistance. That's what I would watch today. See if you can get more continuation on the leisure side of things. Airbnb would be the one I'd watch. Okay, next we're going to look at a few banks. So Wells Fargo, Goldman, and let's just look at Goldman first, and then we'll go to the smaller ones. Goldman, GS, Sachs. So here's Goldman. Banks have had a terrible time. We've talked about this yesterday. Banks have gone nowhere. Just been a mess, really. So you had earnings this morning. Let's see. So I didn't have time to really read through this, guys. So I'll just try to flip through it as fast as I can. Actually, I'll just bring up CNBC. Goldman Sachs tops analyst estimates. Trading desk crushed expectations. This is where all your money went. Right here, folks. This right here is where your money went. Trading desk crushed expectations amid surging volatility. They took advantage of it, right? They got some smart people over there. So earnings 10.7 versus 8.8. Wow, big beat on EPS. Revenue 12.9 versus, damn, they really beat. They really beat. Turbulent quarter dominated by devastating invasion of Ukraine. I'd like to hear about their trading desk. Not much about their trading desk. But yeah, all right. So pretty good numbers for Goldman. That's interesting. So if we go to Goldman, let's take a look at what it's doing right now. Yeah, nice little pop, sort of pulled back, not much. Banks are just tough, man. Banks never really get a move going. We'll see if that happens today. Banks sort of have been having a lot of trouble to get an actual move on. I would watch right in this area. Hold on. Right in this area here. These previous lows, I would watch this area right around this 330 level. If you can get over 330, then I think you push into these highs here, right up into 346. That's what I'd look for. So if you can get over 330, then I would look for a push over that and look up into 346. So that's a decent look for banks. I'm not a big bank trader. I just don't like the way the stocks move, but that is good news for Goldman Sachs this morning. Looks like, on the other hand, very different story for Wells Fargo. That is no good. What happened on this side of things? Did we get any? Wells Fargo shares follows quarterly revenue misses estimates. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually interesting. Weaker than expected mortgage lending. Weaker than expected mortgage lending. What does that say to you? So yeah, I mean, I do believe that as the 30-year fix starts to increase, you're going to see a slowdown in mortgage interest. It's already happening, but for sure. Home lending fell 33% from year prior. That's bad. That's just bad on them, because there's no way they should be down 33% year over year. That's really bad. Their excuse is that rates have climbed. Well, they haven't. Yeah, that's just a bad job on their part, because they should have been soaking it up. They obviously weren't. So yeah, weaker than expected mortgage lending. That's no good for Wells. You're getting a downside move. So it's a mixed bag here. It really is a mixed bag. Morgan Stanley up. What do we got? Citibank up, and Goldman Sachs up. So yeah, they're just that's an excuse by Wells. The mortgage rates just only just started to increase. So yeah, guys, I would just see if the banks continue. Really, what I would do is just watch XLF. I would just watch XLF and see what the XLF does. See if the XLF bounces off this bottom here. If there's any strength on financials, and see if it affects the Dow as well. All right, Walmart. God, this is nice. This is just really, really nice stuff, guys, on Walmart. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. Look at how perfect this retest was. You break out, you pull back, right back into that demand zone, and you bounce right off of it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This type of trade is the exact trade that I think everyone, if you're starting out in trading and you're looking for a strategy, these are the trades you should be looking for. Costco has done it twice already. You guys can see right here. Costco break, retest. This is where I made a huge trade right here off this push, right? Called this all out. Beautiful push for the chat. You can see right here. I'll go ahead and show you what we did on that one. We got 280% on that trade. And it was right here, folks. So right here in the chat on April 5th, we took a Costco April 22nd 590 call for $5. Why did I take that? I took it because of this. That's a little bit too close. Right there. A retest of previous all-time highs. That is why I took it, and that is what it looked like at the time. And that was right here. That was right here on the 5th. Now, you can see, we went ahead and closed that up for $18.80 from $5. It's about a 250% trade, $1,300 profit. That was sick. Love that. And all it was looking at the daily chart, and looking at the daily chart and looking at the retest. That's it. And what you guys can see again yesterday, what did Costco do yesterday? A beautiful break and retest again. It's everywhere. Look at these highs and look at this support. Previous resistance turns into support. And you can see the bounce that we saw yesterday. So that was Costco, but we're talking about Walmart. And Walmart, you can see break, retest, sick entry point, and look at the reaction yesterday. Doesn't mean it's going to continue forever, but that is just a really nice way to structure your trades, guys. Daily chart, beautiful break and retest. That's textbook stuff. Please look for this. Please. I'm begging you. Lulu. This is a sick little breakout on Lulu, I think. So I'm going to watch this for sure. So right here on Lulu, you guys can see we had a little bit of a channel, and we had an upside resistance level around this 384. Yesterday, we went right through it. I mean, we rallied right through it like it wasn't even there. So you have a bottom side support and a top side resistance. If we go to the hourly chart, you're going to see, guys, this is a clean channel break. How do you trade this? You could do one of two things now. You could look for the retest and buy it off that, or you could look to see if it breaks these highs and sort of maybe trade the momentum, right? Either way, you either trade it over the highs, trade momentum. I don't like doing that. I'd rather wait for this right here. This is going to be a juicy entry right there. On the retest of previous highs, you get in with the stop below, and you see if you can get a bounce here. But Lulu is definitely a watch. Big breakout of this channel. I would look for this, and I would look for this. One of these, one of these. One of these, one of those. That's what I would look for. All right. I got a few more for you. FedEx. In a swing trade on FedEx. Really like this. Strong day yesterday. You guys can see in the daily chart, just watching this little double bottom here at 200. Got my stop loss at 2. So if it goes under 2, I'm out. But has held up really nicely over the last 3 days. I'm looking for a push off this 200 level. And if you go to the weekly chart and we zoom out, let me get a little bit more time here. Where was it? Yeah, right here. So I got to sort of drag this over. Right there, guys. On the weekly chart, this is a monster little area here. I like this little previous resistance, and I'm looking to see if it wants to hold its support here. Big fall off the highs. FedEx is down 38%, and I am looking to see if I can catch this little double bottom sympathy bounce here. So FedEx, definitely one I'm watching. Target, another one that I'm watching here. Target needs to do what Lululemon did. So here is what the making of a Lululemon breakout looked like. Right here, guys. Carlos YouTube channel? I have no idea who that is. Carmine, maybe you meant? Just type his name in. Carmine Rosado. So you can see, look at, this is the making of that Lululemon breakout. You see this on Lulu? What did that look like? Right? Doesn't it? This looks the exact same as Target, doesn't it? I would be watching Target for this exact same breakout. I would be looking for one of these, one of those, and one of those. That's what I'd be looking for on Target. That's another watch, another opportunity. Home Depot, I think another opportunity here off 300. They also make T-shirts for men, but yes, that is what they do. Home Depot off 300, another one I'm watching. I need to see it break over these pivot highs around 315, but I'm definitely interested on Home Depot on this little breakout here. So watching Home Depot in this channel here, looking to see if I can get a break on Home Depot. Another stock that I think will heat up with leisure and with the Dow. And we already looked at Costco. This looks great. Stair-stepping, awesome. We went over Nvidia. We got to go over Facebook for a member. Let's go over FB. So here on FB, guys, that's not FB, that's CFB. Okay, Facebook. Yeah, just don't like where the chart is on Facebook, guys. I just really don't see much. I mean, maybe you can see the retest here. I'm just not a fan of FB right now after it failed. I liked it on this push, but it just got really royally rejected. It just really did nothing. So this is, I mean, a decent watch if you want to see if this retests. If the tech market does heat up, then yeah, right here. You see that? Right on that 210. I would say yes. You know, I would say that's a decent risk reward. If you see a retest of this previous high, little pivot high, push higher, break and retest, yeah, maybe you do see that. I would watch for it. I don't think that's a bad thing to watch for. Watch for the support to build at 210. 210, 211. XLV, healthcare. Yeah, I mean, it pulled back, but I wouldn't say it's weakening. It just sort of went ridiculous. That's sort of what happened. It just sort of popped really big, had to pull back. I would say, you know, I would say it's pulled back, and I don't think it's weakening though, because I think healthcare can stay strong in this environment. So, yeah, I wouldn't look for the short side, but I would look for maybe just maybe a consolidation on the XLV on the healthcare side of things. It probably pulled back with AbbVie. AbbVie had some, I think, bad news or something like that. I mean, it also has been just straight up. So this pullback was always warranted. I would just keep an eye on AbbVie, UNH, because even UNH has been pretty strong still. So, no, I don't think XLV gives up here, but I definitely think it's, you know, it's not going to just keep rallying straight up like it has been. So just watch this 20 SMA. I mean, look how good it held that 20. Watch the 20. I'm not looking at VERU. Go look at other stocks. Don't trade that crap. We don't trade crap here. All right, guys. I need to go to the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, the link is down below. We trade live. We talk more than we should all day, all night. Addicted. Pretty much addicted to it, but it's a good spot. I mean, you talk to people from around the world that trade, invest. They do a lot of other things. We have a lot of different professions in there. Pilots, attorneys, just crazy stuff. Those are the ones off the top of my head. I'm sure there's tons more, but we have a lot of pilots, which is pretty cool. It's a really awesome community. So if you guys want to check it out, it's down below. It's not just, you know, some set it and forget it thing for me. This is like my full-time job, guys. I mean, this is serious to me. So I try to make it as structured as possible. It's very professional. Don't come there if you're going to cause problems, because you're going to get kicked out. It's a very professional place. So if you want to come hang out with other professionals, feel free to check it out. Thank you guys for being here. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Get me to 50,000 subs. If you're not subscribed, you know, anything would be, I would very much appreciate it if you could just press that subscribe button down below. Press the like button. Have a fantastic weekend. Go follow my Instagram account if you want to know if I'm going to stream tomorrow, because I have no way to contact you. So go to the Instagram account, follow it there, and you guys will know if I'm going to be on tomorrow and what time. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, peace out.